Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we explore 6 of our favorite Robert Frost poems and why we think they matter today. Let's get started. Our first poem is For Once, Then Something. Picture this, someone peering into a well, usually seeing only their reflection, but for a brief moment, catching a glimpse of something deeper. Here is a reading of the poem.
Others taunt me with having knelt at well curbs, always wrong to the light, so never seeing deeper down in the well than where the water gives me back in a shining surface picture, me, myself, in the summer heaven godlike, looking out of a wreath of fern and cloud puffs. Once, when trying with chin against a well curb, I discerned, as I thought, beyond the picture, through the picture, a something white, uncertain, something more of the depths, and then I lost it. Water came to rebuke the too clear water. One drop fell from a fern, and lo, a ripple shook whatever it was laid there at bottom, blurred it, blotted it out. What was that whiteness? Truth? A pebble of quartz? For once then, something.
Our favorite lines come near the end. What was that whiteness? Truth? A pebble of quartz? For once then, something. The beauty here is in Frost's restraint. He doesn't claim to have found definitive truth, just something beyond himself. The simplicity of these closing words carries profound weight, suggesting that even momentary glimpses beyond our self-reflection are valuable. This poem is all about those rare, fleeting moments of clarity in life. In today's world of information overload and fake news, Frost reminds us to look beyond the surface and seek deeper truths. It's a call to embrace critical thinking and pursue genuine understanding, even when it's challenging. Next up is Acquainted with the Night, a haunting portrayal of a solitary night walk in the city. Here is a reading of this poem.
I have been one acquainted with the night. I have walked out in rain and back in rain. I have outwalked the furthest city light. I have looked down the saddest city lane. I have passed by the watchman on his beat and dropped my eyes, unwilling to explain. I have stood still and stopped the sound of feet when far away an interrupted cry came over houses from another street, but not to call me back or say goodbye. And further still, at an unearthly height, one luminary clock against the sky proclaimed the time was neither wrong nor right. I have been one acquainted with the night.
A powerful stanza from this poem is, I have looked down the saddest city lane. I have passed by the watchman on his beat and dropped my eyes, unwilling to explain. These lines vividly illustrate the speaker's isolation and the weight of unexpressed emotions. The image of avoiding the watchman's gaze speaks volumes about the internal struggle and the difficulty of connecting with others when experiencing deep loneliness or depression. In our hyperconnected, yet often emotionally isolated world, this poem hits home. It speaks to experiences of loneliness and depression, especially in urban environments where we can feel alone, even in a crowd. Frost's words remind us that these feelings are universal and timeless. Moving on to Directive, a complex poem on loss, memory, and the search for meaning. Here is a short excerpt reading from the poem.
Back out of all this now, too much for us. Back in a time made simple by loss. Of detail, burned, dissolved, and broken off. Like graveyard marble sculpture in the weather, there is a house that is no more a house. Upon a farm that is no more a farm. And in a town that is no more a town. The road there, if you let a guide direct you, who only has at heart you're getting lost, may seem as if it should have been a quarry. Great monolithic knees, the former town, long since gave up pretense of keeping covered.
A particularly powerful line from Directive is, your destination and your destiny's mark, a brook that was the water of the house. This line beautifully connects the idea of a physical journey with a spiritual or emotional one. It suggests that our ultimate goal might be to reconnect with something pure and essential from our past, symbolized by the brook that once supplied a home with water. In our chaotic, fast-paced lives, Directive encourages us to slow down and look inward. It suggests that by reconnecting with our past and with nature, we might find the wisdom and healing we're seeking. Next up is Mending Wall. This is perhaps one of Frost's most famous poems. It questions the need for barriers between people, using the metaphor of neighbors repairing a stone wall. Here is a short excerpt from this poem.
Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen ground swell under it, and spills the upper boulders in the sun, and makes gaps even two can pass abreast. The work of hunters is another thing. I have come after them and made repair, where they have left not one stone on a stone, but they would have the rabbit out of hiding, to please the yelping dogs, the gaps I mean. No one has seen them made or heard them made, but at spring mending time we find them there. I let my neighbor know beyond the hill, and on a day we meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again.
The repeated line, "Good fences make good neighbors," is fascinating because it works on multiple levels. It's a proverb the neighbor clings to without question, yet Frost positions it so we question its wisdom. The genius is that Frost never explicitly states his own position, instead allowing the tension between connection and separation to remain unresolved, just as it often does in real life. The following lines are also powerful. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. This line speaks to the natural human desire for connection and openness. It's a subtle critique of the walls, both physical and metaphorical, that we build between ourselves and others. With ongoing global debates about borders and nationalism, this poem is more relevant than ever. It challenges us to question long-held beliefs and consider whether the barriers we maintain are truly necessary or beneficial. Next is the short but powerful "A Time to Talk." In this poem, Frost emphasizes the importance of human connection over work. Here is a reading of the poem.
When a friend calls to me from the road and slows his horse to a meaning walk, I don't stand still and look around on all the hills I haven't hoed and shout from where I am, "What is it?" No, not as there is a time to talk. I thrust my hoe in the mellow ground, blade end up and 5 feet tall, and plod. I go up to the stone wall for a friendly visit.
We love the lines "and plod, I go up to the stone wall for a friendly visit." The word plod is perfect here. It suggests the farmer's tired, heavy steps away from his work, yet he makes this effort willingly for friendship. The simplicity mirrors the poem's message about prioritizing genuine human connection. In our often work-obsessed society, this poem delivers a crucial message. It reminds us to prioritize relationships and make time for meaningful interactions, even when we feel swamped with tasks. Finally, we come to "The Road Not Taken," possibly Frost's most well-known poem. It describes a traveler choosing between two paths in a wood. Here is a reading of this poem.
2 roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
The closing lines are unforgettable. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. What makes these lines brilliant is their ambiguity. On the surface, they seem to celebrate bold decision-making, but read closely, they hint at the arbitrary nature of choice. How do we know which path was truly less traveled? And does it really matter? These questions resonate deeply in a culture obsessed with defining success through singular achievements. Frost's genius lies in leaving room for interpretation, inviting readers to reflect on their own journeys. In a world that often demands clear career paths and life plans, this poem reminds us that many decisions are made with limited information, and our understanding of their significance often comes later. These 6 Robert Frost poems continue to resonate with readers today, offering insights into the human experience that transcend time. They encourage us to think deeply, question assumptions, value connections, and reflect on our choices. What's your favorite Robert Frost poem? Let me know in the comments below. That's all from us today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more lessons and ideas. See you next time.